Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the Noodle Shop. This is Gio,
This is Tristan.
and today we're going to talk about gaming. So we have a few topics. We're going to talk about what type of games we like to play. We're going to talk about upcoming releases, some that are coming out in the next couple weeks compared to some that are coming out in the next couple years. Best genre of game. This is going to be strictly our opinion, something close to just telling you guys what we like to play, pretty much, or what kind of games what kind of genre we like to play. Competitiveness. So this is something really big that we kind of want to dive into, because I'm not competitive, but Mr.
I
T over
I
here
I
is.
am.
Yeah, and cheating in video games. Like, what's the point? Why do people do it? What do we feel about it? So yeah, let's get into this episode. All right, so we're gonna start the first segment off. It's what type of video games we like to play. I guess I'll go first. I like every game really. I could play FPS. I could play strategy games. My favorite type of games are like third-person action adventures. So I think that's something that I like to get into. What about you?
Kind of the same, I like a majority of games. There's certain games I don't necessarily like. I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but like I can't jump in if it doesn't grab me within like the first 10, 15 minutes, I usually that's my problem. I don't give
Yeah,
it enough of a chance.
I'm actually kind of the same way with that. Like, if a game doesn't grab me in the first like 10 minutes of playing it, I'm just like, nah. Like streaming, doing some of the games that I've streamed, like Spider-Man. I think that was an awesome game.
Yeah, that game has a lot of action right
Yeah,
from the very
exactly.
beginning, which is awesome.
Another game that I'm streaming is Far Cry 5. And out of the Far Cry franchise, so far I've liked 3 and 5. 4 I didn't really like too much. I don't know why.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I like some story games. I'm not huge into story games. It has to be something that I like, a story that I enjoy. So like,
Like Call of Duty Online.
well, I mean, it's not really a story driven, but I do like the Call of Duty, like their campaigns. They're not like crazy in depth, but they're in depth enough to like keep me entertained.
No,
Uh,
I really, out of the Call of Duty games, I played Ghost. I thought that was a pretty dope story.
yeah,
The
except everybody hates Ghosts, and that's probably one of my favorite games of all the Call of
It is.
Duties.
I'll tell you, the only thing I didn't like about Ghost playing through the story is there's so much glitching.
Yeah, there is.
Like, the frame rate drops so much, and I think that's what kind of took me off of the story, is just the frame rate and all that.
Yeah, I mean, Ghosts, in my opinion, was one of the best ones as far as like gameplay, and the online play was amazing in my opinion. It was probably one of the most balanced, um, which is saying something for Call of Duty, considering,
I'm not sure if you've played it, but my one of my favorite games at the moment, or well, games I've played, was Ghost of Tsushima.
I started it.
That game is amazing. The
That game
story is
is,
awesome. The visuals are awesome. Yeah, I'm sure people have played that game and are still playing that game, and it's just such a beautiful game.
yeah.
I think
So
I can't tell you how many times I put this game is beautiful on my my Instagram while I was streaming it. It's just a phenomenal game.
yeah, I enjoy it at points, but it's a slow developing game, which is
This is
my
true.
problem with it. Is I don't allow it to develop far enough for me to like get super into it.
Yeah, no, I
I
feel
played
you.
the online, and the online is phenomenal.
Oh, the online's fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
the thing is, like, so playing the online, I would love to like get a group of us to get on. It's
yeah,
just
do it.
timing is hard. It's the same thing with going into Destiny and stuff like that. Like, getting people to play, it's just the timing's hard. Same thing with
Yeah,
Call of Duty, you
yeah.
know?
Of course, if you can't tell, Geo is heavily PlayStation favored, whereas
How do you
I,
know? You
I'm
can
he-
see it?
I'm heavily I'm heavily Xbox favored. So of course, some of my favorite games are Halo, Gears of War, Forza. games like that.
What fork stuff?
No,
No.
forts.
You race forks to death.
No, it's a racing game. It's similar to your
No,
Gran
yeah.
Turismo.
No, 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 no.
It's,
Nothing similar to Gran Turismo.
yeah,
Okay, that's a
it's
driving
all right.
simulator.
I guess. Yeah, no, Halo's my favorite by far.
Favorite game of all time?
Yes.
Cool.
The series,
The
I will
series?
say. Yeah, my favorite game of all time is probably gonna be, memory wise, probably Halo 3.
Okay.
As far as like gameplay wise, I like sports games as well, so I would say Rocket League is up there as well. I love Rocket League. It's one of the best games in my opinion that I've ever played. It's super balanced. It's super skill based, which I kind of like because a lot of sports games are
I never got into
kind
Rocket
of.
League only because I heard it's kind of challenging to start,
It has a very heavy learning curve.
and then it's also we'll be talking about this later, but it's also very competitive,
That's why I like it.
and I'm not competitive, so
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into that game. I do
Yeah.
want to give it a try, only because I like trying new games and I'm very open to games, but I don't know, I'm a little afraid of that one.
So the one of the issues, and this is also an issue with Call of Duty, with Rocket League, is it has one of the most toxic communities. And that is because it's a team-based game, and if you're not playing as a team,
Yeah,
it becomes very
obviously.
toxic
Yeah, yeah.
very quickly.
I mean, that's like Call of Duty, you know.
Yeah,
You could have the one player, the two players that are going to be like really good at the game, and then you end up playing with players like me that aren't so good, you know, and
and then they're
it's either
blaming you for everything. Pretty
yeah,
much.
it's either one or two things. You're gonna get either you're gonna have people that play with you that are really patient, or people that are like, yo, we need to win, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
see, I find myself, um, I find myself playing a lot of the games that are, um, based on some form of skill, but some form of, mechanics as well.
yeah,
So because I feel like I can master mechanics easily with those kinds of games. So like sports games are a perfect example. Most of those games are strictly mechanics with some form of skill to master the mechanics.
yeah. I mean, so I just started this new game. I'm playing the beta for it. It's called a new world or something like that, and it's all mouse and keyboard, and I've never played mouse and keyboard, and it's something different from the
Yeah.
control from the, playing with the control, but I think it's pretty cool to get into it because it's now teaching me a different way of playing games, you know.
Yeah. Which may develop you into other games playing this
Exactly,
way. Like
exactly.
Destiny.
Oh,
If you became
Destiny.
mouse and
Oh
keyboard,
man, Destiny.
you would destroy people probably.
I don't know if I would do that though, because it's too like this game is more MMORPG type. You're moving like you have a sword and shield.
Yeah.
You're moving slower pace, whereas Destiny being a first-person MMORPG, you're
Heavily
you're
fast
fast.
paced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like playing Call of Duty. You're moving fast. You're not trying to just climb up a mountain or anything. You know, you're constantly moving.
Yeah.
Man, but okay, that's another one. Destiny. That's
Yeah, I
one of
agree.
my favorite games.
I think my background for Destiny is the fact that most of it is based on Halo and it was designed by the same team that made
Yeah.
Halo. I feel like that's where my love for Destiny comes from is because it's
Okay.
so close to Halo and it's not a hard I mean it's once you dive deeper into the storyline, it's hard to
hardcore lore.
understand,
Yeah,
but
no,
like
it's super hardcore
from
lore.
like just playing it, not looking into all the lore behind it, just playing it, the the story is fairly easy to understand.
Yeah, somewhat. I guess the base story, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're playing the base story, you're gonna kind of get the story, but then when you start to like look into like the grimoire cards and the lore,
Yeah, that's when
that's
it's
where it
like,
gets
all right, I'm good.
you just went down a rabbit hole and you're
Yeah.
never coming back.
Yeah,
So
that's what I stay away from at
yeah,
that point.
you start to learn about characters that you barely meet in the game. Like maybe you'll meet them once or
Yeah.
twice, right?
There's like a whole backstory on them, and you're like, where did this even come from? Because they don't
Yeah,
explain any of this.
yeah. But okay, so I said Destiny's my favorite game, one of my favorite games. I think my all time favorite game, and I haven't said this in a while, right? But it's gonna always be my favorite is Metal Gear Solid, the first one.
Yeah,
The second one is good. The second one is like a classic. But yeah, the first Metal Gear Solid is freaking phenomenal. And then I really like Metal Gear Solid 4. The series in general is, to me,
yeah.
it's like almost like a masterpiece. Not sure if you played Death Stranding, but
I haven't. No.
the only Death Stranding. Death Stranding is like really slow, but it's really heavy in story.
Yeah, I don't
Whereas
think I would like it.
whereas like Metal Gear, it it's kind of like a slow game, sort of, because it's constant stealth.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
it's
mean,
mostly stealth.
you can run into it and kill things and go after people, but baseline is stealth. So that takes time to play the game. But I think that's just one of my favorite games of all times. I think that it's just a great game.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I did play Metal Gear once.
Oh, such a good
I
game.
went stealth for about 5 minutes, and I was like, all right, screw this.
And then you start just
I just
killing.
started throwing grenades
Yeah,
and running
yeah. I
around.
mean, at one point you're gonna have to throw grenades, right?
Yeah, there was too
But
many people, and I was
that's
like,
a
all right, this is taking forever. Let me just go through
yeah.
this whole base already.
That's another game though. Like if you dive into the actual story behind everything, you're gonna get lost
Yeah.
because it starts here and then it goes there and then it goes over here and then it goes there and then it's just everywhere. But it's a dope game
So now we're gonna talk about some upcoming game releases.
that we're looking forward to.
Yes, that we are looking forward to. I think we're gonna start off fairly because this one's more recent. At least the announcement is Ubisoft's new game X Defiant. Um, so the cool thing about this game is one of like the head people for I think it was Activision. He left and he went to Ubisoft, and they're making pretty much a free to play game that's going to compete against Call of Duty, and it has a very similar play style, but they put their own spin on it, which was the punk rock aspect.
They said she had no nipples.
What? What?
That's what this dude said to Activision.
Oh.
You're like, what? I haven't seen I've seen a little bit of gameplay from what you showed me. I haven't actually dived into the game, so I'll let you talk about it. You can explain what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's an FPS like Call of Duty, of course. It's going to be based on, from what I've gathered from watching the trailers and stuff, it's going to be based on like different classes, different characters. Each character has abilities, and you customize your guns and everything. It looks really cool.
So I mean, would you say it's something like Apex kind of, but with more customizing?
I kind of. I feel like it's a mixture. It's a mixture between Apex and Call of Duty, just without the
Okay.
battle royale aspect, unless they add one. I feel like it's going to be a very competitive game.
You said it's free to play.
Yeah, which is huge that it's free to play.
Yeah. That means that you're gonna have to buy an outfit that costs you $20.
Yeah, pretty much. They got to pay for the game somehow. So,
That's funny.
no, other than that though, I mean, the free to play aspect that's a big jump, and I think not to delve too far from where we're going with the upcoming releases. They just announced PES, which is Pro Evolution Soccer. They announced this year that they're making their soccer game free to play,
Oh
which
wow.
is also pushing EA to possibly make their game free to play, which apparently there was a leak they're going to make next year's FIFA free to play and cross play,
Oh,
which
okay.
is that's kind of huge that all these smaller company, I say smaller, they're pretty big, but
Yeah.
smaller companies are pushing these bigger companies to make their games more accessible.
Well, it's like because you have to think. So I think a game comes out, the company ends up making the initial money on the release, right? But after the fact, they don't make money unless you're purchasing in-game currency
Yeah.
or buying like skins or anything like that. So I think making games free to play is going to be a little bit better. because they're going to be able to
It's a little bit more
tell.
incentive based, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. Like, hey, try out our game. If you like it, then you could pay for the skins.
Yeah. It's kind of like Fortnite, perfect example.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
Garbage,
think
garbage.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure 95% of people have tried Fortnite, at least people that play video games, just to see what it was. I mean, it's free to play, so why
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
And
exactly.
then, you end up loving it or hating it. Of course,
Yeah,
on my end, I hated it immediately, so I haven't spent any money on that game.
I played for like an hour, and I really, really, really tried to like it, and I just couldn't get
Yeah,
into it, man.
same.
The
But
leveling up system is it's slow. You could skate. That was cool.
yeah.
But the leveling up system's too slow. And then uh, going back to something we're gonna talk about later, being competitive, it's super super
Yeah.
competitive, and you're playing against little kids and
I was about
grown
to say,
people.
for a game that's designed for kids, it's
You're
way
playing.
too competitive.
Yeah, but you're playing against everyone. You're playing against adults. You're playing against kids that are under 18. And these kids that are under 18 are killing it in that game.
Yeah.
And then you're playing with adults that are like pros. They know every in and out of the game. So, yeah. Okay. Anyways, back to
Back to
back
our
to
upcoming releases
upcoming
here.
releases. Yeah.
So after X Defiant on my list, this is number one this year. I think this is going to be game of the year in my opinion. Battlefield 2042. This game looks phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you can jump off of a building and go fly into a hurricane while shooting people, then it's gonna be the best game. But I don't think that's gonna be.
Obviously.
I don't think that's gonna be in the game. And if it is, it's gonna be a cinematic
Uh,
to me.
yeah, it might be. So they just revealed actually for this game, they're adding like a sandbox aspect to it. So you're gonna be able to create game types,
Oh, that's cool.
and so the way they explained it is you're gonna be able to take characters, vehicles, guns, pretty much anything that's in the game, including maps and everything from this new one, 2042, Battlefield 1942, which is the very first game they ever made, um, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3 are all going to be available in this sandbox. And you can create game types. One of the examples they gave was like a game type of um, there's 5 people on one team for Battlefield 2042 with like the upgraded guns and all that.
Yeah.
And then they're facing a team of 32 people from
Oh
1942.
wow, that's crazy.
And they're like, they have the most basic guns because it was World War II
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
time.
Oh, that would
So,
suck to be on that
yeah.
team. You'd have to like strategize more than anything.
Yeah, so like the footage they showed, it looked crazy, but
Yeah.
it was a really cool, the sandbox aspect is a really cool idea if they execute it well, which Battlefield has a tendency to do. They tend to execute very well. So,
Okay.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Considering it's an EA company.
And then they're gonna have loot boxes. You want a new gun? You
Uh
gotta buy it.
they're
Oh no, they
actually
can't do that
I was
anymore.
gonna say I don't
Yeah,
think they
yeah.
said
They can
that
only
this
do
time.
that for skins, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do. I think they said they're gonna do, which every game's gonna do. Battle passes now,
Yeah,
just
it's
because.
it's just that's how they're gonna make their money, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I
Battle
mean, I guess
passes.
it's less expensive, less gambling, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that
You
too.
you
Yeah,
know what you're getting
yeah,
for
yeah.
it, so
Well, I mean, it's working for like for Destiny. Destiny, well, they've been doing it for a few seasons already, right? But so it's worked for Destiny, even though this last past season to me has been horrible with what they're releasing. Like you have to unlock the armor by doing like a mission.
quests and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just I didn't like this past seasons, but I mean other than that, every past season prior to that, they give you a gun or they give you a few guns and stuff like that. Same thing
yeah.
with Apex. Apex does the same thing where they give you like a few guns throughout the season. Call of Duty does that as well.
Yeah.
So I
The
think
good thing is it's Bungie, and they tend to listen to their
yeah,
audience and
yeah, yeah.
bounce back from it. So
Yeah, so I mean,
we've had that debate.
yeah.
They'll have like one of the
Yeah,
best seasons they've ever had, and then they'll have like a
a
terrible
garbage
season,
season, yeah.
and then they'll have another amazing season.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Another one we're looking forward to is New World. That game we talked about it a little bit earlier. That game is crazy. I'm playing the beta right now, and uh, it's a really good game. Honestly, me getting into mouse and keyboard that I've never done it. it's cool. Like they reminds me of a little bit of Skyrim
Is
with
that
the
based in like a medieval era?
sort of,
Kind
yeah.
of.
Like I believe you're a pirate in the beginning, and then your captain gets this thing, like a crystal or something like that. I can't remember. He opens up a little chest, and you end up going to this island, and it's like
Yeah.
a remote island. Um, but yeah, it's an MMORPG, and just picking it up for the first time, it was pretty easy. Like the controlling's easy. It teaches you how to play.
That's good.
Yeah, there's not too much to the game as far as
Well, you are in
knowing.
beta, so I'm sure
Yeah,
they're limiting what you can see.
that too. Yeah, no, but I'm saying like knowing how to play the game or getting to learn how to play the
Oh
game. To
yeah.
me, I don't feel like there was too much to dive into. Like there's certain games that they don't teach you too much of how to play the game, so you have to go in and pretty much learn
Yeah.
yourself. Like Destiny, for example. Destiny kind of doesn't teach you as much how to play. So like they don't really teach you about what armor to put on and stuff like that. What's gonna make it better. So
Yeah.
it's like that. Like but yeah, no, it's an awesome game so far.
I was gonna say that Destiny. I mean, they do teach you how to play, but they don't teach you like
Yeah,
the
but it's
stuff
like
you need to
basic.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like armor
they
and
teach
stuff
you
like
the
that.
beginning, the basic of the armor, right?
Yeah.
And then you get into unlocking like exotics and stuff, and then that's it. It's
Yeah.
you're like learn how to play it and read everything about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been talking about Destiny a lot.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Destiny,
we're gonna go ahead and say the Witch Queen, the next expansion pass. This past season was okay. The stories they were telling was pretty cool. Getting into like the racism of the tower and stuff like that. Ooh, you
wait,
didn't know
what?
about that.
Did you
uh,
just say racism
yeah.
of the tower?
Oh yeah, yeah. So you end
Is
up
it like species or something?
yeah. So now the Fallen are like at the tower, like they're our friends.
That's weird.
Yeah. So some of the people at the tower don't like that.
Yeah.
So
I
I
haven't
think
played Destiny in a while, so I have no idea what he's talking about.
yeah. So but we're all getting back into the Witch Queen. So
Yeah.
can't wait for that one.
I'll speak more on that when
When
crossplay comes out. Of
that
course.
too. Yeah. So crossplay is coming out next season. So
Really?
yeah.
Wow. That's gonna
So
be
that's
cool.
what they announced, that crossplay is coming out next season. So that's going to be kind of the big thing. Not only that, so now we're actually, hopefully, we're actually going to meet Savathun, which is something we've been wanting to meet for the last couple years already.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, when we
Since that D2 came out,
pretty much, yeah. I mean, if going back, you listen to the original entrance music to Destiny when it first boots up, and it's Savathun's song, you know. And if you didn't play the story, you wouldn't know that until you probably meet Savathun. But everyone throughout the seasons have sung the song, and it's
Yeah.
crazy because it's like people that are in the tower or just like characters in the game, So it's pretty dope. I'm excited for that one. I'm a huge Destiny fan. I don't know if you could tell, but I have some guns back
Audio
there.
listeners can't see that.
If
But
Tristan moves his head for a second, there's my little Destiny setup.
the Galahorn.
The audio listens, yeah, they can't. But behind
So
us, I have a
there's
Galahorn.
there's a replica Galahorn, and then there's replica, exotic pistols behind us as
I have
well,
the
or hand
Thorn,
cannons.
the Ace of Spades, the Sunshot, and the oh no, that one's gonna get me.
Destiny fan number one, right?
Right, that one's gonna get me. Don't kill me.
All right, we'll
right.
come back to that one.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna move on to the next game.
Yeah. He handed it over to me. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's my
pretty
favorite
much.
series. Halo
I have
Infinite.
no knowledge of Halo.
No-
Sorry.
Another game. Super excited about. It got unfortunately delayed from when it was supposed to come out with the new systems, but there was backlash. I'm happy they decided not to just release it, because there are companies that would do that. Just release it. They're like, all
Yeah.
right, we'll get it out.
Well, look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk did that. They
Yeah.
released it.
Well, I
Unfortunately.
mean, they were also working on it for 10 plus years,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
still had issues.
yeah.
So, Halo, most of their issues, were of course cosmetic stuff. I'm
Yeah.
sure they said it was probably other stuff as well, but the big complaint was cosmetic. But they revealed, like back when Microsoft did their E3 thing. They did their multiplayer reveal and all that, and it looks really good. Compared to the past few Halos by 343 they've been eh.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer for the Halo Infinite
Yeah,
when Xbox just did their like announcement for it,
yeah.
and I mean, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
The storyline looks cool.
The reason I haven't played Halo is because I played Halo 1, and going back to what we talked about earlier, if something doesn't catch me within the first like 15 to 20 minutes of me playing, it's not gonna.
Yeah,
And the first Halo game set the tone for every Halo game for me.
yeah,
Like the controlling to me was horrible. I even tried replaying it, which I'm gonna end up retrying to replay it with
yeah.
you.
Yeah, we're gonna
So we're
run
gonna try to
through
stream
the
it. Yeah,
whole entire series.
yeah, we're gonna try to do the whole series of Halo.
Master Chief Collection. Do
So
all of it.
hopefully third time's a charm.
Yeah, maybe with someone it'll be better.
Yeah, I mean, I like Gears of War as an Xbox game, and
Gears of War is awesome.
Gears of War is so clean. But to me, just Halo didn't catch me in the beginning because of that, because
Yeah.
the controllers were kind of square.
So my thing with this Halo that I feel like is so 343 took over after Reach. So they
Yeah.
took over for Halo 4. Halo 4 garbage. It was
It was
it was
garbage!
probably the worst Halo that has ever come out. And then
So noted. Don't play that one.
yeah. Some people would argue, that Reach is the worst. Personally, I thought Reach was pretty solid. 5, they went a different direction. Story-wise, both 4 and 5 are really good story-wise. Multiplayer in 4, garbage. 5, they went more competitive. So they focused mainly on the competitiveness of it, which, I mean, it works. It works for their their competitive side. This one, I feel like they're going back, and they even said it in their trailer. They're going back to what Halo is.
Good. I feel like
pure fun and enjoyment.
I feel like that's where games need to go. They need to just remember that a game is a game.
Yeah.
And it's not only about the people that play online. It's also about the people that originally played for the story or played for, the
just the enjoyment.
Exactly, the enjoyment. Whereas I know for Halo games you could play multiplayer, and on some of them it's up to 4 players, right?
Yeah.
So you're playing the story with 4 of your friends.
There's also
cool.
Custom games, which was a huge part of most people was custom games.
Well, you have like the red and blue people that do those
red
videos.
Versus blue. Yeah.
And they pretty much made a lifestyle off of making fun of Halo.
That whole company started because of red versus blue.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's look at what we got. We got Deathloop.
I don't know much about this one. Oh man,
this game looks insane. So I believe it's created by the people who made Borderlands.
Okay, so that
could possibly be wrong, but I think it's made from the people who made Borderlands.
It's gonna be a good game then.
But it looks.
Borderlands is good.
Have you ever played Dishonored?
I have. So it's one of those games that I've given. So I played Dishonored 1.
Yeah.
It didn't catch my attention within the first 15 minutes.
So it looks like Dishonored.
Dishonored 2, I played for a few hours because that one actually catches your attention really well.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed Dishonored. It's a very skill based game as well. And I'm in that game I am not very skilled.
No,
so.
me either. I played the first Dishonored for like 15 minutes and I was like, I don't know. And then the second one, played for the first 15 minutes and was like, no. And then the latest one that came out with the girl, I was like, no. So I couldn't get into any of the Dishonored games, but I do like Borderlands. It kind of looks, the look is kind of like Borderlands, sort of, but it also looks like Dishonored with that like cartoony, realistic look. I don't know. It's weird to say.
Yeah.
It's almost like super cell shaded. And the dude, every time he dies, he pretty much gets like put back into the like it restarts. It restarts the game or restarts the level, and then things change in the level,
Oh,
like
that
where
that's
enemies,
cool.
yeah, where enemies are and stuff like that. But it's like every time you die, something changes.
What if you don't die? You
I
play
don't.
on the
Then that
easiest
means
difficulty and you just don't die. The
I don't
the
know.
game's very
We're
unilinear.
gonna have
You
to.
just run through the whole game.
I guess we're gonna have to try that game out. But I don't want to dive into it too much because I'm still kind of looking into the game to see
Yeah.
if I'm gonna even like it or not. But
That
it
also counts
looks,
for the next game.
yeah, exactly. It looks super super interesting.
Yeah. Next
Um,
game, is God of War. We haven't really seen much of it. Ragnarok.
yes.
Um,
Honestly,
if,
I'm gonna love it regardless.
yeah.
I've loved every God of War.
I was gonna say if it's anything like this last one,
Yeah,
it'll be phenomenal.
yeah, definitely. I mean,
High
like I said,
expectations.
I've loved every God of War from God of War 1 even to the PS Vita versions, all the way to the PS4 version.
Yeah.
I have the PS4, I have the PS3, and I have the PSP
Of God of
collection
War.
of God of War, like
That's
the
awesome.
actual consoles. So I'm a huge God of War fan, as
Yeah.
much as I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm super super looking forward to Ragnarok.
Next we got Far Cry 6. I haven't played very much Far Cry since 3, so this one's gonna go over to Geo
So
over here.
yeah, so okay, so I'm playing Far Cry 5 now. Little late, but you know, it's good to get into it. Far Cry 3 was probably my favorite.
I agree. It was probably the
From
best
yeah, from
of the first.
beginning to end. If you don't know, apparently Far Cry, this is a prequel to Far Cry 3
Yeah, because
because the kid's supposed to be the main villain of Far Cry 3, right? Or something like
yeah,
that.
that's
We'll see. I don't know if that's going to be the case. But Far Cry 3 was to me the best from beginning to end. Far Cry 4, I started playing it, I got maybe 2 minutes into it, and it just kind of throws you into the world, and I felt like that was a little too much.
yeah.
And then Far Cry 5, it throws you into the world too, but before it throws you into the world, there's like a whole bunch of stuff going on, and
It's
it's
kind of like
just
3 then, because
yeah,
three
exactly,
like
yeah.
gives you a whole storyline, and then
Exactly, yeah, and then
you're
you
in the
kind of get
world, and
thrown.
you're
I
like,
mean, there's a little bit of a storyline in 4 as well. There's things going on, but I feel like it just kind of throws you into the game once you
yeah,
start. Like you have to start shooting people already in the beginning, whereas like it's 3 and 5 were a little bit more cinematic,
yeah.
and they kind of even through the cinematics you're playing the game. Like stuff's happening while you're playing the game. So I think that yeah, I think if they follow that up with 6 and 6 goes into like kind of like that cinematic feel,
Yeah.
um kind of like Uncharted, like it has that like cinematic feel. You're like watching a
Yeah,
movie
but
but
the
playing a
game
video
is
game.
going, yeah,
I think then it's going to be a little bit like it's going to be a better game.
yeah.
We'll go ahead and talk about the last two things we're going to talk about is Back for Blood. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that first, and then we're going to end with something
Yeah.
else. So Back for Blood. I don't know. I mean,
Honestly, I
liked
haven't
I've
researched much of it, so I
yeah,
can't really say
played
much.
I've
I
played
just
the
know it's based on
originals.
Left 4 Dead, so
Yeah, I've played Left 4 Dead,
yeah.
and we used to play back in the days. We used to get all of us in the living room playing the game. I was never really a huge fan of the game.
I was gonna say, I honestly I don't understand the obsession with it.
I,
In my opinion,
well,
I don't.
it's
I
the
don't
zombie
understand
hordes,
it.
man. People love zombie hordes.
Yeah, but there's better zombie games,
Yeah, this is true.
in my opinion.
No, will get us killed. No,
No. The I feel like, in my opinion,
I agree. There,
compared to Left 4 Dead, I feel like Dead Rising's better.
yeah, I mean, what?
It's more
So this,
linear,
so
I guess,
this
or
game reminds me
story-based.
of, and I'm not sure if you ever played them, but House of the Dead.
Yeah, I have not
No,
played
they're arcade game. It's like an arcade game, like an arcade zombie shooting game,
I'd
and
have
it's
to
just
see it.
basically like hordes of zombies. The
Yeah.
main difference is that the zombies are very like they're different, I guess. Like they come after you compared to
They're aggressive, you mean?
yeah, like they actually have like things going on.
Yeah.
Whereas like in House of the Dead, it's just like arcade mode. Like you're basically just like shooting the zombies, and that's it. All right, so we'll skip that and we're gonna move on. But the last thing we're gonna talk about for this topic
It's the
is
Switch.
the new Nintendo OLED Switch. So I have two Switch like
Two
consoles.
Switches. Oh,
Yeah, I have two Switch consoles.
I have one because
And
I don't need two.
and
I barely even play the one.
so one of them is the original Switch,
Yeah, which I
right,
have.
with the big one, and then I have the Switch Lite. And the Switch Lite we play a bunch of different games on it. The original Switch, I literally have played 4 games on it, and it sits and collects dust,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Mine's
And
in its case.
I hate to say this, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up buying the Switch OLED
Yeah.
for no reason. We're gonna get it just because we collect video games and video
And
game
consoles.
consoles, and it's literally gonna collect dust.
So I think the OLED, I mean, it looks cool,
The
and
screen,
I think it's gonna look insane,
well,
like
that's the
how
thing is,
detailed
so
it's gonna be.
the screen is supposed to be clear, right? It's supposed to be more
Yeah,
colored,
but like
but it's
games
not
like Animal Crossing, how is that even gonna
exactly.
be any more colorful than it
The
is?
thing is, it's not like gonna be a 1080p console.
No, it's not.
It's still
It
the
also
it's
like,
still the 720 unless you put it on a 1080p TV. You know,
and even then, like the game. Unfortunately, I mean, Nintendo has really good games.
no, they have
Don't
fun
get me
games,
wrong,
yeah.
but their games unfortunately don't compare to some of the console games.
This is true. I mean,
I
look
can only get
at
so much Mario before I'm
that's
like,
what I was
all right,
gonna say.
I'm done.
Look at Mario. You know, any of the Mario games. Some of them have been really good. Some of them are really competitive, like Mario Maker. Super
Yeah,
competitive. If you watch people on YouTube play it, it's
they
super
speed run
super.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy levels too. Levels that in 2 seconds you'll be dead. You
yeah,
know, so I think it's just to me at the end of the day it's a cash grab. They were like
yeah.
we can make a new console or we can make the same console with a little bit of
A
an
little
upgrade.
tweak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we're gonna make
it's
more
like cell
money.
phones.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. It's the
They're
yearly
like,
upgrade.
oh, we'll just we'll change one or two things, and then people will
It's
buy it
smart. It's
anyways.
smart. Don't get me
It
wrong.
is.
But it is. That's what it is. It's the yearly upgrade. It's now it's time for your upgraded Switch.
Yeah.
So that's what they released.
Well, that's their thing is they're not like these big major companies like Microsoft and Sony. They released a different PS4 and a different Xbox One every year for like 4 or 5 years. Like it's had a slight difference in it, and they
Yeah.
released it, and it was either cheaper or a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they took off I think 2 or 3 years, and they made these next gen consoles, which I mean, thank God I haven't had any issues of mine, but
Yeah, I'm still
they're
rolling on the PS4.
they're still, it's a jump, whereas the Switch is
The
like
Switch is the same thing. Yeah, I think that's
maybe
where
that's what they're preparing for. They're getting everybody ready for them to stop making stuff for a couple years so they can make something big.
they should
Which,
do
I
that
mean,
though. They should.
just
Okay, so
re-release the
The
Nintendo
OLED
Wii at
comes
this
out.
rate.
Nintendo Wii U,
Two.
or it's like the Wii U 2
Yeah.
4K, and then they release a game that came out like 20 years ago on Nintendo whatever.
64.
Yeah,
The Donkey Kong with the little drums.
yeah, in 4K.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They just re-release games. There's the game Skyward Sword, right? That apparently that's like a relaunch for a game.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, that's a relaunch for a Wii U game, and they're porting it
Oh.
into the new Switch. So
I
I'm
mean,
just like Nintendo needs to.
if they want money, just release another Animal Crossing game.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
dude,
That game,
they made a lot of money
I
off of
mean,
that.
that game is pretty good,
Yeah,
but still,
I can't get into it. I don't know. I guess it's too kiddie for
it's
me.
an addictive game. That's the problem. You
Yeah.
get addicted to it. I got addicted to it for like a week to 2 weeks, and then I was like, all right, I'm done.
You're like,
and I haven't played it since.
I need Animal
I
Crossing.
need more tulips.
I need Animal Crossing.
Tulips, bells, all of them.
All right. So now we're gonna move on to best genres. Now this is our opinion. It's gonna be something small and quick. So I'll go ahead and start. I think I'm gonna start with third person action adventure games. I really like third person action adventure games like Uncharted, God of War, Metal Gear. I think that it allows you to be the character. and you don't have to. It allows you to control the character. There you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't allow like it's not like a first person where you are the character.
It's like the stereotypical video game pretty
Yeah,
much.
exactly. Where you're playing like over top, almost like an old school Grand Theft Auto or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. And I really do like MMORPGs, something that you could create a character in the beginning of the game, and
Like mold them to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We were just talking about this the other day, where every game that I make, my character looks like me. Either that, or it looks like an
Same.
older version of me, like with my mohawk and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Um yeah, I mean, I personally I like first person shooters.
Yeah,
Um
I like
there's an
FPSs.
abundance of them, so I mean, you can go from, Call of Duty to Apex to Battlefield to, Destiny. It jumps in not just one genre, it's a lot of different genres in first person shooters. I also like strategy games. I like games somewhat that make me think a little bit harder. I like to try and think a few moves ahead. Um, some of those games like Halo Wars, that's like a command and conquer type game.
Man, I can't think that far ahead.
I also like kind of the weird games like the city builder games, like
Oh, like Sim City.
kind of, yeah.
That's a pretty fun one.
Yeah, SimCity. Like you have to think about those games. You can't
Yeah,
just build. You have to think and make sure that the traffic and all that. I
yeah.
like that kind of those kind of games, and even like Civilization. I don't know if you've ever played that, but
No, I never played it.
Civilization is a very good strategy game. It's a very long strategy game, but it's very good.
Does it have an ending?
I mean,
The world
in like
ends.
6 years, yeah.
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
started
snap.
a game with one of my friends, and it took us like, I mean, we played it for like 4 hours straight, and we still hadn't even seen each other on the map.
Holy smokes, that's crazy.
So now we're gonna dive into competitiveness and cheating. I feel like I'm a very competitive person. Gio can attest to this, especially in when it comes to Call of Duty.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
Holy smokes, dude. I suck at that game. I
yeah.
suck at
I
that game. And
so
he's like, "What are you doing?
no, I don't
Stop
do that.
dying." No.
Well, I mean, sometimes.
You
I
better
feel like
get
that.
out of the gulag.
I feel like my competitiveness though, even though like, I get mad at points, most of it's because of, BS, but um I get mad at points. I feel like I don't I'm not like one of those toxic people that is like, "Oh,
No,
it's all
no,
your
no.
fault" and all
No.
that. Like I
Dude,
know
honestly,
most of it's me.
anytime I've played with Tristan, it's never been a toxic game.
Yeah,
Like,
unless, we have certain people in our game, then.
yeah, we
Um
don't talk about
uh,
that.
um but I feel like both competitiveness and cheating go hand in hand. I like to think that people cheat because they want to be better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Another example is Call of Duty because there's a lot of cheating because they don't have an anti-cheat software for it. Um,
Really?
so
They don't?
no, they just ban people
Dude,
in waves.
Destiny started catching people.
Yeah. Um,
Destiny, I think Apex is catching people now too.
Apex has been catching
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So Call of Duty, everyone likes to joke because everybody thinks there's like one guy in a corner cubicle of the office that's like sitting there watching footage trying to catch people.
that
Um,
would be such a horrible job. You're just
yeah,
sitting there
well,
like, who's gonna cheat? Who's gonna cheat? I gotta
yeah.
watch.
And then somebody gets reported and they have to go check and they're like, nah, he's not cheating.
Oh
It's
man,
fine.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it goes hand in hand. I like to think that, they cheat to get ahead, try and be the best in the game, win the games and stuff. But
Yeah.
honestly, most of the time it's probably they're not very good at the game and they just cheat because they want to look better than they are.
I mean, honestly, like every time I play Call of Duty, and you can attest to this, dude, I have fun dying.
Yeah.
I will literally run
It
into
depends who I'm
gunfight,
playing
die,
with.
and be like, "Oh man, I gotta go to the gulag," and
That
then I'll get out of the gulag, and I'll be like, "I'm gonna die again."
so that's my other thing is because I'm so competitive, like I I have fun playing, but I feel like because I'm so competitive, I get mad at like the people that
He's
like
talking about me.
and no, like I'll do exactly what you do. I'll run into a building and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm gonna go kill this guy," and then he's sitting in a corner, and I like walk up the stairs and he kills me, and I'm like,
Oh
"What are
yeah,
you
yeah.
doing? Why are you just sitting there?" Like I lose my mind in that
So
aspect.
kind of going back to cheating too. I mean, I could see like where you would get upset with cheating because like, yeah, I'm not good at the game, but I can hold my own, right?
Yeah, of
In like a
course.
FPS. But then when you have people like shooting you from like the other side of the map, or
Or like they lock onto you. Sorry,
no, you're good.
They lock onto you as you're like walking around the corner, and you're like,
Yeah,
really? Like, come on.
dude. There's been times where like I shoot someone with a sniper rifle, and then they shoot me back, and I die, and I'm like, what? How does that
Yeah,
make any sense?
and it's just like
Yeah,
it's things like that. That's my problem with being so competitive is like when somebody A cheats or B like they're just in my opinion they're not trying to play like I mean they're playing but like they're
but
in my
they're
opinion
not
they're
playing
not
as hard as someone that's not cheating.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah, pretty
saying?
much. That's
Like
what I'm
someone
alluding
that's
to.
actually trying to put in the effort.
Like I'm trying to properly play the game. I don't want
Yeah.
to, sit in a corner the whole game just to win and have, one or two kills. Like I want to play the game and actually get kills. So
What?
I'm going to chase people or go after
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
And then they're
Well,
just sitting in corners so they kill me and I'm like,
yeah.
"What?"
I told you about like the time I played on PC, right?
No.
And because I'm playing on like a 4K monitor, I'm playing on all
Oh yeah, you can
high end stuff.
see
You
everything.
can see everything, dude. You can see your bullet drift.
Yeah,
So
which is
like
insane.
you see your bullet drop and you're just like, "Whoa, okay, I think I need to aim a little higher." So I can get that like if someone's playing on PC and they're they're playing and they're just like nasty at the
Yeah.
game, then obviously they're going to be really good com- compared to the people on console.
So that's my other thing. That also goes, hand in hand with competitiveness slash cheating. Um, I love the crossplay idea.
Yeah.
The execution of it is kind of garbage.
Dude,
So,
that's why I'm kind of scared for Destiny.
yeah. So again, Call of Duty is always going to be the perfect example. You have, the Warzone specifically requires you to have crossplay on. It requires you to play with
With
PC,
PC, yeah.
PS4, and Xbox. And that's annoying because PC is always going to have an advantage, being that they can.
Well, your frame rate is faster, your
Exactly.
quality of visuals is better, you
Exactly. And
know.
you can't, that stuff, and their field of view, they can adjust their field of view, and you can't do that,
Yeah.
which is, that's hindering everybody else. And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes it kind of, to a point, unfair.
It's true. Yeah, no, this is
And
true.
that's kind of like where I feel like Master Chief Collection is, I believe, also crossplay, but they let you adjust all that stuff.
Okay.
Same
So,
with Cold War, Call of Duty Cold War. When
yeah.
it came out, it's like Warzone. It's crossplay, but you can adjust everything. You
Yeah.
can do your own field of view. You can do all that on console and on PC. So it's like that balancing effect. Like you can't give it to one specific thing and not give it to the rest of us.
Yeah. I haven't so like going well, I guess it's competitiveness but talking about like Apex for example, I haven't pulled it up on my PC to play it because I don't want to start all over.
Yeah,
I've already played on PlayStation, and I know that they haven't done the cross
cross save,
performance like
cross save.
yeah, cross save.
Yeah,
So I'm like I don't want to play on PC, but I'm sure it's like crazy good on PC. You know?
yeah. That's the other thing is like Call of Duty has cross save,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
but
I have my Call of Duty on my PlayStation, my Xbox, and my PlayStation on my PC, and it's all the same account.
yeah. So whenever I dive into getting a PC at some point, um, I'm probably for games like Call of Duty, I'm probably only gonna play them on PC because that's the fairest way I can play them at that point.
It's true. It's true.
Um, but I feel like the competitiveness of it is like when it hits that point, it's like, all right, well, who has the most money at this point. That's pretty much where
Yeah.
those games are coming in. Is if you have the best gear, then you're gonna have the best experience. It's the same thing with there's also like this scandal going around. Technically, it's I would consider it cheating, but there's people that have been testing it that in certain games like Call of Duty, if you purchase stuff, it will put you in lower status lobbies, like skill
What?
based.
So then you could destroy people like me.
Yeah, so there's been people
That's
testing it,
insane.
and a lot of people have been saying that it's true, and that's why all these streamers and stuff are getting these so-called bots, as people call them,
Oh, that's horrible.
because they buy everything in the market or in the shop as soon as it comes out, so they get all these low tier games,
So
and
you're
they're
basically, it's basically like pay to play, but they're not telling you that it's pay to play.
pretty
So
much,
you're
yeah,
buying everything. You're becoming like their number one subscriber, right?
yeah,
Because you're paying them pretty
and then
much,
they're rewarding
and
you
they're
by
rewarding you
giving you,
by giving like
which makes you end up playing the game more and buying more stuff. I
what's
mean, like
the
psychologically, it makes sense, but
what's the term I'm looking for? Like almost like you're paying to be at the bottom of the barrel.
yeah, pretty much, it's like
That's
incentivized.
horrible, man. That's
Yeah, so
horrible.
people are researching it, and a lot of people have found that to be true. That
Wow.
a lot of these, that's also why Activision shut down. There's certain websites you can go on and look up like your game, like what your skill base is,
Yeah.
and there's websites that they've been shutting down because people have found stuff like that. Like if you buy stuff, it'll drop you in a lower skill game
Wow, that's
to lead
insane.
you buy more stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So in my opinion, I feel like that's cheating because, I mean, that's cheating on the side of the maker of the game
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
they're kind of
exactly.
giving free games to not free,
Not
like
free, but
free
they're
wins
free
to
wins, yeah.
people that shouldn't be in the same game with these, lower 50% of people, lower
Wow.
50% players.
All right, thank you for hanging out with us. Please like, share, and subscribe. That is Tristan.
And that is Geo.
We'll see you guys later.